take a break, I have so many of these examples. I have examples of people, a lot of people who didn't have funding, but then they were hoping that they would come and then get funding. They went through the visa process, they were denied. A lot of them, most of the time, if you don't have funding, you're more likely to be denied. Today, I told somebody that a lot of students, they think the visa interview is hard, but the reality is that the visa interview actually starts with the work you did to get the full funding or good funding, right? Most of the time, that's just the thing. If you get good funding, the visa interview is not that hard because you don't have to prove your finances. But if you don't have good funding, then you have to prove your finances, which is not always easy. Because the reason why it's not easy is that you have to present a credible sponsor, and we have to look at who is credible, what do they do, what is your relationship with them, like all of these things. Sometimes we have to look at whether the person has traveled before. If the person hasn't traveled before, what makes you think the person is rich enough to sponsor your studies? So that's why if you have good funding and then the deficit is small, even if a person hasn't traveled before, you can still be approved because yeah, it's not really here. The person doesn't really have to do much, right? So if you want to get your visa approved and come here and be comfortable, right, and not worry about finances and all of that, then try to get for good funding, not necessarily for, but good funding. Because here in the US, it is not just financial issues that students go through. Students go through all sort of things, loneliness and all of that. So if you don't want to come here and then add to all the other issues that international students go through, if you don't want to add the financial stuff to all those issues, then try and then do everything right. Okay. I always want to tell you what I want to take from you, right? Because this is very important to me. And I am not trying to be liked. I don't really care so much if people like me or not, because I know in my heart I try to be honest. I try to, be helpful, so that if you hate me, it means that you have no basis and I don't have to care about it, because the reality is that it's not everybody who is going to like you. So I would rather want to tell you the truth, even if it's brutal, so that one day you realize that what I said was true, right? So that is how, I do my things, okay?